Yeah, talkSPORT understands Erik Ten Hag is set to stay on as Man United manager for at least the next 2 games, despite yesterday's tonking against Spurs. However, the Dutchman is under mounting pressure, as you would imagine, ahead of back-to-back away games before the October international break against Porto and Aston Villa. Speaking after yesterday's 3-0 defeat at home to Spurs, Ten Hag said there's no problems in the dressing room.
You've seen how they work, how the spirit is. So there's no issue. And we have seen last week we played a very good game. Today, 30 minutes, no good. But you saw we could have returned in the game. And there you see the resilience of this team and that they could fight back. But yeah, the red card had definitely also then a big impact.
If you join us out for the first time, I'll go over ever so briefly what I said at the start at 4 o'clock. The red card made no difference whatsoever to the result. None at all. Take nothing away from Tottenham. Up until the red card, United were a dog with fleas. I've been backing Erik Ten Hag for a long, long time. After we won the FA Cup, I was like, no. In Erik, we trust. My trust has disappeared now. I can't see any way back. His role at Manchester United is to make us better and turn us into a team that eventually, hopefully not too far down the line, will compete and then win the Premier League. That will not happen with Erik Ten Hag. I've lost all faith with him. The team that we had out yesterday, apart from Xerxes, was probably the best 11 we can have. I mean, you put in...
Højlund instead of him.
Højlund, that's it. I can't see maybe Luke Shaw left back, but Diego Dallas meant to have been good so far this season. But either way, no excuses with regards to players that were or weren't there. 17 of the 25-man squad are Erik Ten Hag's. They either made his debut under him or he bought them. The list goes on and on. I just with the players he's got on show, it's lackluster. It's dull. It's not innovative. It's no one's got a clue as to their positions. Players like Garnacho and Marcus Rashford have free roles. There's not. I look at other teams, Spurs being one of them, right? Your team, Arsenal. I mean, your team at the other end of that spectrum. Seems like well-oiled, that know what they're doing, that have an identity. The same players playing the same positions every single week. I just think with United, no one really understands A, if they're going to be starting, B, what their role will be. I mean, it's just we can't finish. We can't. Our midfield looks like it's non-existent.
I mean, there's loads of things. First and foremost, to spend over 600 million and look like that, I think's poor. I mean, you look defensively. I mean, only Wolves, West Ham, and Everton have conceded more goals than you guys have conceded at home. That used to be a fortress, Old Trafford. But I'm not quite sure what they're trying to be. Manchester United, are they a possession-based team? Nope. They're clearly not a pressing team because teams they go in 1s and 2s. And it's interesting with Erik Ten Hag as well, because whenever people talk about Erik Ten Hag, it's always like, when he speaks as well, it's like, yeah, well, I won the cup. I always win trophies, but almost it's like, well, this isn't my fault, it's the players' fault. But when you're winning trophies, it's all me. I'm the guy that's won 2 trophies in 2 years. But it's just poor, and I think moving forward, I don't think he's the right man for the job. I think there was an image yesterday during the game where the camera panned to him, and I think he was scratching his chin, and he just looked lost, like he didn't have a clue what to do, what to change. I think the players have stopped playing for him. I think the moment the players stop doing that, that's it, game over. I don't care what you do. And I think the worst thing about that, and I was listening this morning, right, is that he's bought most of those players, or a lot of the players, right, and they're not playing for him. And this is what happens, because people think, yeah, but if a manager buys you, then you should run through brick walls for him. That's not always the case, because if a manager buys you and doesn't play you, you're quickly going to get the ump. So that's irrelevant if he signed you and you think, well, it's surprising me because he signed him and he should really want to play for him because he signed him. Well, no, if you don't play him, he's going to get annoyed.
The biggest problem we had was that he won the FA Cup final.
You was lauding him, said he's the best man on planet Earth.
I know, because I fell for it. Totally. So we were a dog with fleas for most of the season, even towards the end of it. Then all of a sudden we have this game where tactically he gets it right against Man City. And then people like me go, you got to give him a chance now. 1, 2, 2 into, give him a chance. And then what we are doing now is we're playing as we have always played.
But this is the point, and this is what I'm talking about. And I've said to you before about like progression. Cup competitions are not progression, because you can get it right in a cup competition or a final like you did. Get your tactics absolutely spot on. But 38 games in a Premier League season will tell you exactly where you are in terms of like consistency. And Manchester United right now 12th. And they have been so off it. And even there's so many games this season where Man United have picked up points. Southampton, they smashed Southampton, but that could have gone completely the other way. If they got the penalty, they scored the penalty. All of a sudden you go, oh, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. So
we last won the league in 2013 under Fergie, right? we're now 11 years on. It's going to be at least 14 years till Man United get it right. That's a quarter of a century.
Hold on. You said they'd win it this year.
Yeah, come on.
No, I'm not coming with nothing.
That was last year I did.
I'm not coming with nothing.
Don't misquote me now.
No, I'm not coming with nothing.
Don't misquote.
Come
on. I never bet you talking
Joe,
nonsense.
Okay.
You have one day on Sky and you
listen, we did top 4 predictions and we've written down seriously and you went City first, United second.
Well, it's not winning it then.
Okay, well, you finished second.
Yeah, because I fell into the trap.
Second.
And I blame Ten Hag for that.
No, blame yourself for that. Because I could tell you what was going to happen.
What's our bet we've had?
But you said you finished above Arsenal.
No, not that one.
Yeah, that was one though.
No, that wasn't a bet for money. What was the one we had for money? Top 8.
Top 8, yeah.
I've got 1 to 8. You've got 9.
Yeah. But you were telling me last
cash out
about progression. I told you that Premier League season, regardless if you win 2 cups, which is still an incredible achievement, and if he left tomorrow, he will leave and go, well, I won 2 cups. But 38-game Premier League season tells you about consistency and where a club's at.
Well, you tell me then, right? You're an Arsenal fan, and it pains me to say it, but your team looked magnificent. And not only that, usually when a team...
What about Arsenal?
What?
Why are you bringing Arsenal?
No, because I want to ask you something about Arteta. You will, because it benefits you and your argument. When you're drawing 2-2 at home and you're going for the title, I know it's early, but you are.
Yeah. And
then you forget the 4. You manage to find a way to get the 3rd. That tells me something about that team. They've got that fighting spirit. Yeah. A little bit like United had in the 90s. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying that's what you look for in a team that could possibly win the Premier League. From there, where you are now, it's taken about 5 years for Arteta to get that right. Yeah. You haven't got it right yet, but my goodness, you look fantastic for it, right? And if you don't get it, you will be knocking on the door. This is me being serious, right? Why, when you look at Manchester United and the players, why are you a million miles away from that? What have Arsenal and Arteta got that Erik Ten Hag and Man United don't even have a sniff of?
With the trust. The players trust Arteta. The players don't clearly trust Erik Ten Hag. And that could be a number of things, because Arteta along the way has had to make big decisions. And you're 100% correct, before people lose their minds, Arsenal haven't won the league yet. So we're still pushing to try and get to win that league, right? But he's had to make big decisions. Ozil, got to go. Aubameyang was the one. Because even people like Edu was like, on the documentary, I'm not quite sure this is the right decision. But they backed him, and now Arsenal, in the long run, look like they're getting towards trying to win it. Yeah. I look at what Manchester United do with Ten Hag. There's no belief there. I don't think there's any trust. Like he's obviously setting them up.
Sorry, just elaborate. When you say no belief, in what capacity? If he's on the training ground and he's saying do this, do that, they're thinking I don't believe in your tactics.
Yeah, they're going, well, we'll do it, but we'll probably get beat. Whereas Arsenal go on there and they implement it, and you go, ooh, like that point against Manchester City tells me, because if they didn't believe in it, you'd get 1 or 2 that would run off, try and chase there with no discipline, run over there, there'd be gaps, and Man City would have scored. But the fact that Arsenal stayed there like that for 45 minutes tells you they believe in absolutely everything Arteta's telling them. When you look at Manchester United, I can't remember a period where you had a full 90 minutes or a 45 where you go, wow, so that's what Ten Hag wants to do.
Cup final was the only thing.
Yeah, but that's a one-off.
No, I agree with you.
Game.
No, I agree with everything you're saying.
Because the next week you're like, well, what happens now?
Yeah.
But I mean,
why are they keeping him for 2 more? I mean, why haven't they seen enough over the last 2 seasons that makes them think, okay, if we win our next 2 games 1-0, that still inspires no confidence in me.
Do you know another thing I was thinking? Sorry, that I don't get, and this is just Manchester United. Why would you actively look for another manager, then give him a new contract and let him spend all the money?
I know. That's nuts.
Clearly, if you don't think he's the right man for the job,
why are you doing it?
Why are you doing that?
Delict, right? Delict. I want that to work. At the moment, I don't think it's
genius.
Right? No, I haven't used that word. But why all of a sudden Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in, and then you sort of feel you've got like Jason Wilcox there, this whole new group of players that are responsible for, whole new group of businessmen that are responsible for incomings and outgoings at the club.
Yeah.
I don't see any difference. Why is that? Like they go, like Anthony, whoa, that won't be happening again. We're going to get Delict. And I'm like looking at it going like...
This is all come back to Den Haag because he wants these players.
Yeah, but what's the point of someone like a director of football?
Well, do you know what, right? Again, and someone made a good point here. And we talk about Arne Slot, right? Just rocked up at Liverpool. Clearly the Liverpool players are like, do you know what? I trust him what he's doing. He's only been here 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Ten Hag's been there for 2 years? Nothing. And do you know what I was thinking, right? So when I was talking about a manager, right, someone who would fit it, but I don't think he'd leave where he is.
Okay, this is what you're saying.
Eddie Howe. And the reason why I say Eddie Howe, remember the toxicity at Newcastle when he got the job?
Yeah.
To where they are now?
Yeah.
I think he'd be and he's worked with Dan Ashworth, who's at your gaff as well.
Yeah.
Their relationship was good. So that was when I was thinking, Eddie Howe. But my only thing is, why would he leave Newcastle to go to Man United right now? Yes, I get it. They're a bigger club. But Newcastle, for me, look like
challenge.
But Newcastle at the minute look like they're trying to build something. And with their they
can't spend money, Man United can, right?
I still think, but I think what they're doing, is incredible. But that was, I thought Dan Ashworth, Eddie Howe got a good relationship. He's gone to United. He obviously got Newcastle over the line in terms of getting to the Champions League when that place was like really toxic. Got them top 4. I think he'd be a great fit. I don't think he'd leave, but it'd be a great fit.
Erik Ten Hag. Why don't they pull the trigger now?
Because maybe they're not sure who to get in next. Bring Ollie back, maybe.
What about Van Nistelrooy?
I mean, that's the obvious one. That just looks like it's waiting to happen, doesn't it? Would you be happy with that, Van Nistelrooy?
What, till the end of the season, right?
Yeah, but again,
what's the point? It's going backwards.
But again, I don't think if you don't think Erik Ten Hag,
look how upset I am. Look how sad I am.
If Erik Ten Hag,
terrible.
If Erik Ten Hag is not the right man for the job
right now, get him out.
Right. No. Also, you cannot allow him in January to spend more money.
He won't be there in January.
Well, at the minute, all signs say I'm not sure. Also, as well, you have to commend Spurs.
I said that right at the beginning of the show.
Because they were brilliant.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
Their game.
And also, when I saw the team, there was no Son. I was watching it with a mate of mine, Brad, come around, this big Spurs fan. He was like, no Son. And I was like, come on. Brendan Johnson's he just hit a rich vein of form at the moment. Madison's had a great start to the season.
Do you know what I felt sorry for? Sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
You know Mazraoui?
Yeah.
They have a great game. No wonder he'd have a great game. Garnacho's not helping him. He's got you doggy running around the outside. You've got Madison running in between the fullback and centre half, and you've got Werner just running past him as well.
By the way, we've not even talked about Timo Werner.
Mate, I know you should have scored 2.
Oh my goodness!
But honestly,
he is poor.
He's poor. But I've honestly, Mazraoui watching him.
Yeah.
Garnacho giving him no help. 3v1 at times.
Shut up! I've had enough.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.